again, this is Duncan Selby, and today I wanted to lay out some of the criteria which the e-reader evaluation team at Michigan State has used to evaluate the potential of digital textbooks and digital textbook technology in the college level environment. And I wanted to lay this out particularly because it's important to keep in mind the criteria we used as you go through the videos we've uploaded to our website. Now, when it comes to digital textbooks, they have all sorts of education potential beyond the conventional printed textbook. Because with a digital textbook you can incorporate links to videos, you can incorporate interactive quiz features, anything else that you can possibly program can be put into your textbook. The challenge from an evaluation perspective is, are any of these extra features, where is their added value? Are they worth the cost? When we had to start this project, we had to evaluate whether or not digital textbooks have the same potential as printed textbooks. So we had to come up with criteria which focused on the question, or answering the question, if you took a printed textbook and moved it out the way and replaced it with a digital textbook on some device, would the student, for the most part, not notice any functional difference? Now, the specific criteria we use, I'm going to read out to you from our report, and as I said, this is how we use to evaluate each device, and hopefully our videos have laid out our position as we go through them. So, to determine if a digital textbook adequately and functionally mimicked a print textbook, it was assumed that a digital textbook had to meet the following criteria. 1. The digital textbook displays the same information as the printed textbook, which just about all of them do. 2. It may be read without significant delays in turning pages. This particular criteria really helped us to focus on the touchscreen devices rather than some of the mouse-based devices, because touchscreen is in many ways more intuitive for flipping pages than clicking a mouse. Again, this is a bit of a subjective argument, but we felt that the touchscreen was more closely mimicking the real-life print edition than using the mouse. 3. It is possible to easily jump between different pages and different sections. In the early devices we tested, this wasn't very easy, but as some of the LCD touchscreens have come along, and you can literally track the number of pages you have selected very quickly, it allows you to jump around a book very quickly from chapter to chapter, from section to section, and that was something we felt was really important. Again, when mimicking a printed textbook, you can just flip huge chunks just using a couple of fingers. 4, our fourth criterion, is probably the most important, that the textbook may be marked up using the following methods: highlighting, writing or drawing anywhere in the document, and attaching notes. Highlighting, just about every device we've tested can do it in some form, and attaching notes is also a fairly common feature. Writing or drawing probably is going to come around in the near future, but essentially it requires a working stylus that allows you to write on the actual document. Not a lot of different devices have this just yet, particularly the LCD devices, although some of the e-ink devices do, but we felt that was something important, again, for a complete functional replacement of the printed textbook with the digital textbook. 5th criteria, of course, is that any markups are saved. 6th criteria is that the device with the digital textbook on it may be seamlessly transported from home to classroom and back. Of course, students don't have to read their textbooks in class, but we wanted all students to have that option if the professor required them to actually bring their book to class and use it as part of the class process. And of course, that meant, most importantly, was that the device was portable in some format, and particularly importantly, it had a battery life which could last throughout a school day. If you had like a 1 or 2 hour battery life, the device would have to be recharged, 3 or 4 times a day if it was used by the student throughout the day, and that would just be maddening. So we figured that it would be much better if the device had an 8-hour battery life, approximately. 7th criteria was that the device has a big enough screen to actually view the textbook. Optimally, we would prefer a 13-inch screen, because that's the standard size of a textbook page for the bigger textbooks, but given that most devices are smaller than this, we sort of had a sliding scale of what was optimal and not. But we really had to have a big enough screen so you could see all of your diagrams adequately. And finally, our final criteria is that the book had a filing or reference system that operates with minimum user frustration. Namely, if notes and things are saved, or if books are saved, you had to be able to get back to those notes and look through them and organize them very well. Because if the system saved notes but then didn't really allow you to organize them very well, it could be very frustrating because you'd have to go back and reorganize everything every time you read the book. And in review week for exams, that's not a very attractive prospect. So those are the criteria that we've used to evaluate the devices in the various videos we've uploaded to this YouTube page. And we hope that as you go through the videos, you'll keep these criteria in mind, and that you'll be able to agree or not agree with our various conclusions.